Welcome, curious minds. Today we're plunging into a world where honor isn't just a word, it's kind of a double-edged sword, really. Cuts both ways.
Definitely.
Mhm.
And we're diving deep into loyalty, testing its limits, and, uncovering how surprising talents can pop up in the most unexpected places.
Our journey today takes us through two pivotal and, frankly, pretty tumultuous chapters of The Smiling Proud Wanderer, focusing on our main guy, Ling Hu Chong.
Right. So our mission for this deep dive is to chronologically unpack Ling Hu Chang's really intense journey. We'll trace his path from, well, severe injury and deep loneliness
Yeah, profoundly this.
to these absolutely stunning displays of skill later on. What we're really going to get into is that complex web of suspicion around him, the unlikely friendships he forms,
Really unlikely.
and the truly surprising revelations that shape his whole path. Think of it as peeling back the layers, getting to the core insights.
Exactly. We're here to pull out those key nuggets of wisdom from these gripping narratives, offering you a real shortcut, maybe, to understanding this incredibly detailed martial arts saga.
So get ready for a mix of high-stakes action, some deep emotional turmoil, and maybe surprisingly, the quiet power of music.
It all kicks off with Ling Hu Chang in just an incredibly dire state. He's isolated on Mount Washan after these severe injuries.
Yeah, physically so weak, he can barely move even short distances. Dizzy, seeing gold flickers buzzing in his ears. It's bad.
He's really at his absolute physical and, mental limit here. It's not just weakness. It's like everything he relied on is stripped away.
And just when you think things can't get any worse for him, who shows up?
Qian Boguan, of all people, the notorious villain.
But not in a menacing way this time, right?
Yeah.
He's wounded himself, complaining, groaning about his own misery.
Even begging Ling Hu Chang to kill him. It's bizarre, almost funny, but sets this really unexpected tone right away.
It's a great setup for the twists that are coming. Tian Boguang tells the story about encountering the Peach Valley's 6 fairies,
Oh, that story is wild.
describing them as totally illogical, always arguing, even debating, like the metaphysics of chopping someone up.
And his escape plan.
The completely absurd stinking fart stratagem, which somehow works. He actually compares it to Zhuge Liang's empty city stratagem.
Unbelievable.
But what this scene does, beyond the humor, is it immediately challenges our assumptions, doesn't it? Even a known villain can be cornered, suffering, vulnerable.
And here's where it gets really interesting. The big twist.
Yeah, get this. Those 6 eccentric fairies, they weren't looking for Grandmaster Feng like Tian Boguang thought.
Nope.
They were looking for Ling Hu Chang himself, sent by the gentle nun Yilin.
Tian Boguang is just floored by this, right?
Yeah.
Realizing he suffered all that for nothing.
Totally traumatized. It's a perfect example of how misdirection and misunderstanding just cause chaos in the martial world.
That revelation just reframes everything immediately.
Right. So then Tianguang reveals he was poisoned and his pressure points were sealed, basically paralyzed and powerless by someone.
Who demanded he bring Ling Hu Chang to Yilin within a month for the antidote. He's desperate.
Completely desperate. And Ling Hu Chang, despite Tian Boguang's awful reputation as, well,
An evil rapist, yeah.
he ultimately agrees. He feels this deep debt because Tian Boguang did spare his life multiple times before.
That's true.
And what's really intriguing here is the unexpected sincerity you kind of feel in Tian Boguang's plea for friendship in that moment. Hints at something more complex under that villain exterior.
And as if that wasn't complicated enough, along comes Di Shi from the Songshan Sword School.
Oh yeah, Dishu. He immediately judges Ling Hu Chang for even being with Tian Boguang.
Makes these cruel threats to publicly humiliate them. It's a stark reminder of how quickly reputations get judged, often without the full picture.
It really makes you think about those snap judgments, doesn't it? But then Yilin makes her entrance.
Dramatically.
And she's with the formidable but totally peculiar Monk No Commandment,
Her self-proclaimed dad.
who effortlessly takes down Dishu, who's just terrified. And Monk No Commandment, he flamboyantly ignores all Buddhist rules, drinks, eats meat, kills, steals.
Claims he gave birth to Yilin.
Right. And immediately calls Ling Hu Chang his son-in-law, which mortifies Yilin.
This character is just a master class in subverting expectations. A Buddhist monk who's anything but monastic.
But his attempt to help Ling Hu Chang is just as confusing and, ironically, damaging.
Right. He tries to heal Ling Hu Chang's internal wounds by pumping his own energy into him.
But it backfires. horribly. It inadvertently makes Ling Huchang's condition worse by adding two more clashing energy streams.
On top of the 6 from the Peach Valley Fairies.
Exactly. So it effectively destroys his existing martial arts cultivation, renders him powerless, transforms him into, as the book says, an ordinary person.
It's such a cruel twist, but maybe necessary.
It's a profound comment on how even good intentions, without full understanding, can cause havoc. And it sets up Ling Huchang's really unique path forward.
The ultimate paradox.
Yeah.
Trying to heal leads to total martial arts incapacitation.
Right. So Monk No Commandment eventually releases Tianbo Guang, gives him a partial antidote, reveals the sealed points were temporary.
And Tianbo Guang promises to change his ways. Seems sincere.
Seems sincere, yeah. He departs amusingly, still swearing, but also grateful. It's this brief, strange alliance showing how desperate times forge odd bonds.
As if Ling Huchang hasn't suffered enough, his master, Yu Buquan, and master wife, Madame Yu, arrive with Yu Lingshan.
And Yu Buquan's relief at seeing Ling Huchang alive is there. You see it, but it shifts fast.
To stern suspicion, yeah. He starts grilling Ling Huchang about the masked men from before.
And crucially, about his seemingly new, powerful sword skills. Skills Ling Huchang shouldn't have, given how weak he's supposed to be.
It immediately establishes that deep mistrust that's going to plague Ling Huchang.
And it deepens right away, because then comes the awful discovery.
Lu Diyu, lifeless, a fellow disciple.
And even worse, the Huashan Sword School's priceless divine art of the Violet Twilight manuscript is gone.
Which is huge for their key branch, the internal energy guy.
Exactly. Then Yu Lingshan tearfully confesses she stole it to help Ling Huchang heal. Takes the blame.
But Yu Buquan, he doesn't buy it, does he? Or he doesn't want to buy it.
His mistrust just hardens. He reacts harshly, immediately suspecting Ling Huchang either stole it or is hiding it.
And Ling Huchang is devastated, utterly hurt by his master's lack of trust. He denies it, even tries to kill himself to prove his innocence.
It's a terrible moment of betrayal. But Yu Buquan decides to keep Lu Deyu's death and the manuscript's disappearance a secret. Adds another layer of deception.
So the group starts this agonizing journey towards Mount Songshan.
And you really feel Ling Huchang's emotional isolation growing. He sees Yu Lingshan and Lin Pingzi getting closer, sharing glances, inside jokes.
It fuels his bitterness, his sense of being cast aside. It's not just lost love, it's losing his place in his martial family.
Their journey leads them to shelter from the rain in this old, discarded monastery.
Setting the stage for another ominous encounter. 15 masked men arrive.
And they're demanding the evil-resisting sword manuscript, which is a different but equally famous and sinister manual.
And it's the one Ling Huchang is now being falsely suspected of stealing. The irony.
The confrontation starts, and Ling Huchang tries to shout, tries to speak loudly.
Only to realize his inner energy is completely, totally gone. He can't even raise his voice.
And the masked men just attack. Brutally. Instantly. This is the ultimate test for Ling Huchang. Face to face with violence, and he's utterly powerless.
It's chaos. A desperate fight. Yu Buquan and Madame Yu, skilled as they are, they're overwhelmed.
The other apprentices, Lin Pingzi included, are injured, subdued quickly.
And Ling Huchang is just lying outside, injured, unable to help. This is rock bottom.
He fully gets it now. The clashing energy streams from the fairies and the monk have wrecked his cultivation. He is an ordinary person, helpless.
His greatest fear realized.
And the masked men are just chillingly cruel. They threaten Madame Yu and Yu Lingshan with humiliation.
And then, just casually, shockingly, behead Lang Fa to pressure Yu Buquan. Pure terror.
Shows the ruthless nature of this world, doesn't it? What people will do for power for these manuscripts.
But then, just as all hope seems lost, an unexpected arrival.
Masters from Songshan, Taishan, and Hengshan sword schools show up, including Feng Buping of the Huashan sword branch.
Right, important distinction. Huashan is split. Kai branch, Yu Buquan's side focused on energy, and sword branch focused on technique.
And Feng Buping leads the sword branch. He wants Yu Buquan's job. Yeah. So you have internal conflict meeting external threat.
And the masked leader tries to use this immediately. Tries to frame Yu Buquan as a murderer and thief.
Accuses him of wanting the evil-resisting sword manuscript. Insults the Kai branch skills. It's a coordinated attack on Yu Buquan's reputation.
But Madame Yu stands up, defiantly challenges the sword branch guys to a fair fight.
Which leads to her duel with Kong Buki. She fights bravely, but her injuries, the sealed pressure points, she's losing, facing humiliation.
This is Ling Huchang's moment. Seeing Madame Yu about to be disgraced, He has to intervene.
Desperate decision. Despite being weak, no internal energy, he reveals something stunning. A new skill.
He uses the Dugu-9 Sword's sword-breaking stance.
Which is all about countering the opponent's moves, not about inner strength. He shocks and humbles Kong Buki.
And this is the core insight, isn't it? His crippling injury, forcing him off inner energy, paradoxically frees him to truly grasp this deeper skill.
Exactly. It's technique over raw power. A breakthrough born from loss.
And he's not done. Feng Buping steps in with his scary, quick blizzard sword stance.
But Ling Wuchang, still weak, uses that new principle, overcoming stances without a stance from Dugu-9 swords.
And defeats Feng Buping decisively. Everyone watching is just stunned.
It's not strength, it's pure adaptability, insight. Reading and neutralizing moves before they land, a totally new path to mastery.
The climax is just, wow. All 15 masked men attack him at once.
And Ling Wuchang, relying only on technique, no inner energy at all, uses the missile-breaking stance.
Blinds all 15 of them in a split second. Precise, overwhelming technique leaves them helpless.
The aftermath is chaos. Ling Wuchang collapses, totally exhausted, spent everything.
The blinded men stumble away in terror. The Huashan group is too injured to stop them. It's a victory, but a brutal one. Ling Wuchang is depleted, but fundamentally changed.
So, the day after the battle, despite Ling Wuchang's incredible heroics, Yu Buquan's suspicion is still there.
Still can't wrap his head around it.
Eh?
It shows Yu Buquan's rigid worldview, right? Clashing with Ling Wuchang's unconventional path.
He just can't reconcile Ling Wuchang's supposed weakness with these amazing new skills. That lack of trust is a core problem.
So the group travels to Luoyang, and the wealth and power of Ling Kunji's grandparents, the Wang family, is immediately obvious.
Big time. And that journey really highlights the awkwardness, the distance between Ling Wuchang, Ling Shan, and Lin Pingzi. Ling Wuchang is definitely the odd one out, painfully so.
Yeah, his feelings for Ling Shan just make it worse.
And the tension peaks at this formal banquet the Wang family throws.
Ling Wuchang looks terrible, disheveled, contrasting sharply with Lin Pingzi, who's all elegant now.
Deepens Ling Wuchang's sense of inferiority, his heartbreak. Then he gets drunk publicly, vomits. Huge embarrassment for Yu Buquan.
It's a public low point for him, underscores his emotional spiral.
And it's right then that Wang Jujun and Wang Jiaju directly accuse him of stealing the evil-resisting sword manuscript.
The final straw, because Ling Wuchang realizes his own master and master wife suspect him too.
That sense of betrayal must be profound. Seeing their supposed kindness was maybe just surface level, overshadowed by their own suspicions.
Then comes that brutal, almost ridiculous physical assault by the Wang brothers.
Breaking his arm, dislocating his shoulder, searching him for the manuscript.
Then they find that thin booklet and think they've hit the jackpot.
Highlights that feverish obsession with these powerful manuals, doesn't it? The violence people use based on mere suspicion.
But Ling Wuchang knows the truth. It's not a martial arts manual.
It's the music score. For the Smiling Proud Wanderer song, given to him by Lu Zhengfeng and Kuai Yang before they died. Priceless, but not in the way they think.
So they get the accountant, Mr. Yi, to try and read this music score.
And his confusion over the notes just confirms their belief it's a coded manual. They see what they want to see.
But then, the unseen presence of Elder Bamboo Green's auntie, the granny,
changes everything. She plays the Smiling Proud Wanderer song exquisitely on the zither, then the flute.
enchants everyone, and proves, without a doubt, it's music, not martial arts.
Ling Wuchang instantly recognizes the melody from Kuai Yang and feels this profound connection. Art cuts through the brutality here.
He feels he can trust this unseen granny completely.
And for the first time, he tells the whole tragic story of the score's origin. Lu Zhengfeng, Kuai Yang, figures from opposing factions, its raw vulnerability, honesty he couldn't share with his own sect.
And the granny gives him this moment of solace, of vindication. She confirms Lu Dadi wasn't killed by him.
Lifts a huge weight off him. She gives compassionate advice about his lost love, offers to teach him music to help him recover.
It's a brief but vital respite, giving him the care and understanding he desperately needs and isn't getting from his martial family.
So Ling Wuchang gets this brief piece, like 20-plus days, learning the zither with Elder Bamboo Green and the unseen granny.
Finds that rare sense of care, makes quick progress in music, but he's still torn, isn't he? Still attached to Yu Lingshan.
Yeah, the pack's bonds are strong, even as these new, unexpected ones form.
But the piece is cut short. News comes. The Huashan group is leaving Luoyang.
He has this reluctant, heartfelt farewell with Elder Bamboo Green and the granny. Unspoken sadness there.
And the granny's parting words. Ominous, the martial world is. Do take good care. Kind of hangs in the air, right? Foreshadowing.
Definitely. So the departure itself is dramatic. Big send-off at the pier. The Wang family showering Yu Lingshan with extravagant gifts.
Just reinforcing Ling Huchang's alienation. He's on the outside looking in.
But just as they're leaving, Elder Bamboo Green shows up unexpectedly on the boat.
Gives Ling Huchang a small wrapped package from his auntie. Quiet moment, but feels significant.
And then the Wang brothers try their petty revenge. Wang Jiajun and Wang Jiaju try to humiliate Elder Bamboo Green, push him in the river.
They think he's just an old craftsman. Big mistake.
Huge mistake. What follows is this ultimate display of hidden power. Elder Bamboo Green effortlessly
Sends both Wang brothers flying into the river, dislocating their arms. Precise, mirrored revenge for what they did to Ling Huchang.
then dismisses Wang Zongquang, sends him flying without even seeming to touch him. Incredible, almost unreal skill.
Proves that real power often hides in plain sight in the most unassuming people.
Wang Yuanba and Yu Buquan are just stunned, realize Elder Bamboo Green is a master of unbelievable skill.
And interestingly, Ling Huchang plays dumb, right? He maintains his own secret about the Dugu Nine Swords, pretends he knows nothing about Elder Bamboo Green's abilities.
Yeah, it's a quiet moment of shared understanding. A new secret alliance.
So as the boat sets sail, the Wang family's left bewildered. Yu Buquan is clearly worried about all these unknown threats and alliances.
And Ling Huchang, he's quietly practicing his zither fingering, reflecting on everything, the chaos, deception, the unexpected connections. He's not just a disciple anymore. He's becoming a true wanderer.
What a journey through these chapters. We've seen Ling Huchang navigate, severe physical wounds, deep emotional betrayals, and this ever-present threat of a deceptive martial world.
His story is such a powerful reminder that true strength isn't always about, outward displays of power. It often lies in those unseen talents, unwavering integrity.
And the courage to face immense personal loss.
His experiences really highlight that stark contrast between appearance and reality, don't they?
Absolutely. His crippling injury paradoxically frees him to find this new, deeper level of skill. The evil-resisting sword manuscript turns out to be beautiful music.
While the unassuming old craftsman is actually an unparalleled master, it really makes you wonder.
It does. It forces us to question our own perceptions. So here's something to think about. In a world filled with accusations and hidden motives, where do you find true understanding and support?
And how often do we, maybe like the characters in this story, misinterpret what's truly valuable or who truly stands by us just based on those surface level perceptions?